football question for all of you. What did you think about the first day out there, and what did you think about how everything went?
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Both sides, I felt like we're flying around, going full speed, looking good. So, I really like our defensive scheme this season. It's a lot like last year's with a few changes, and our offense looked real nice too. I just really enjoyed practice day overall.
Andrew, what do you think about the offense with Bobby Petrino? What do you think about him kind of running things out there on the offensive side of the ball?
Everything just feels smooth. Like everything feels right. Like with the O-line, with the receivers, the quarterbacks, it's a battle with everybody. Like the O-line is just look beautiful. Like it looked beautiful right now. So I love the way everybody came to work throughout the winter workouts. Everybody was bought in to the team. So got this thing called Embrace the Hog. So I feel like that's what everybody's doing right now.
Go ahead, bro.
Just to pick up on the day how it was a good day. A bunch of young guys in. Taking that leadership role today, so it was a good experience for the good defense. See what Bobby Petrino scheming up. I like our offense, so I'm pretty confident in the Razorbacks this year.
I think this is your first time in here with us,
yeah.
And also with the first group. You were a guy that contributed some last year, but first day right out there with the first bunch. What do you think about kind of your, I guess, accelerated path right now?
Yeah, so going to this year, my mindset really is just taking that leadership role for the young guys. I had to step up this year, step up to the plate. T-Will was echoing us to this in the meeting, so all our young guys, it's time for us to step up to the plate. It's a blessing for me to be where I'm at right now in this position.
Andrew, how you like the quarterbacks this year throwing the ball is different? KJ's not there anymore, but talk about the quarterbacks. I'm sorry, not.
Oh, it's been great. We've been throwing like all winter break. Like after workouts, before workouts. Getting up there early and things like that, trying to get our timing right. So I feel like the battle right now is going. So I'm pretty sure by the end of spring, they'll probably have sort of idea. But right now, it's all up in the air right now.
Sam said Tuesday, I guess it was when we had, I think it was Tuesday. He said 7-on-7, playing a lot of 7-on-7. How much does that help you?
Oh, it helps crazy because you got to think about the plays. We go over the plays and things like that. So with us doing that, it just helps us, understand the plays better, knowing the depth of routes, when the quarterback will throw it, when he knows we're going to break. Like it all just helps with connection.
How hard a decision was for you to come back this year? Was it a hard decision?
It was hard initially, but the more I thought on it, I knew where my head was at. And growing up from a young age, my goal was to always play SEC football, which now my goal is obviously to play in the NFL. But at a young age, I always grew up watching, the Arkansas, A&M, LSU, Bama, always wanting to play in the SEC. And I really just didn't feel right going out on a 4-8 season. So that was a big decision that played with me coming back, and I'm really glad I made that decision, and I'm ready to keep this year going.
Brad, just what's it been like working with Sori so far? Obviously, as a newcomer, and how are you guys kind of feeling each other out as a linebacker partnership right now?
Yeah, so with Sori coming in, he gave me a lot of new tips. As an older guy that's been in the game for a while, he didn't show me and told me a few things. The tips were reminders that I could take on with my game. So, yeah, it's good having him in the room with me and other guys. Just a bunch of learning.
Do you feel like, linebackers position is often a leader of the defense? Do you feel like, that's something that you are comfortable with and wanting to maybe add to your kind of repertoire right now and being kind of a voice for the entire defense?
Yeah, so as a linebacker, I feel like we should take the role as being the quarterback of the defense. So for us to be getting everybody in line, know what's going on with everybody else's job, your job. So it takes a big role for a young guy for me to do that. So that's my goal, to step up to the plate and do.
And Andrew, you're back this year. What's maybe had a good year last year. What are some of the biggest focuses for you? Self-improvement of what you can do to kind of better yourself here and for a potential future.
I think one of the major things is becoming a leader this year, because I feel like if I bring everyone else around me and things like that, everyone can be great, good, do whatever they can do on the field to the highest ability that they can, because I feel like if there's no leadership in the room, everybody just goes out there and just do what they do, So I feel like being a leader is one of the biggest things that I feel like I need to bring into my game this year.
I guess for the two defensive guys, just what does Sori's game look like? Just kind of what skill set does he bring to the table?
Yes. So he's very mobile in the box. Me and him, we got a little connection going on. So we got that little connection in the box. So he's pretty good backer to me.
Landon line depth. Where do you feel like that is, and just what are your expectations for the group?
It's looking great. We got an older group now, and I love the way we've been working. It's a brotherhood for sure, and we've lost a few guys, but we brought a few guys in. The young guys looked real good today, especially in pass rush and 2-minute drill. So it was really great watching Charlie Collins. Cool watching Anton, Kavion as well. And I think it's going to be a really good year. I feel like we're going to have all the older guys playing that were playing previously, and then this is a year where I feel like we definitely will use some of our younger guys as well, especially in third down situations. So I'm ready to keep it going and see how everybody progresses.
Andrew, we heard from Landon how he came back. Just what about you? Like, was it an easy decision? Did you consider trying to test the NFL waters? Just what was that like?
It was easy to say. I feel like last year was just my first year in the NFL. I mean, I say NFL. First year in the SEC. I'm trying to speak into existence, but it was first year in the SEC. So I feel like I was just getting my feet wet, and I'm way more confident now. Like last year, I was confident. Throughout the season, I got more confident, things like that. But now I'm just like 100% confident. Like, so I feel like me coming back. Not only would help me, but I would help the team. Like I said, becoming a leader for the young guys like CJ. Speaking of CJ, first of all, he's a great receiver. Like he's a freshman coming in early. Like he's crazy. Like his releases, all those things. Davion, everybody. All the young guys. They're doing their thing. But I feel like I just had to come back. Like it was just right for me to come back.
And we know about Malachi and Jacoby, but with Taylor coming in, how has he embraced maybe the leadership aspect of the quarterback room?
Oh, man, he's trying to get everybody going. He's reaching out, trying to get people to come up there and throw. You know what I'm saying? With the quarterbacks, everybody trying to come in, learn their plays, having a group discussion about it, things like that. So he's definitely filling in that role of trying to be a leader. And
Landon, you mentioned Anton a second ago. You making the jump up from the FCS. Does he look the part of an SEC guy? Like, what have you been?
For sure. This is something we've all, just talked about. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're having 15 sacks in high school football, you're a dominant player. So, he had 15 in the FCS, and he came from FCS, and you saw how good he was. So, there's a difference overall as a team within conferences, but if a player could do that in the FCS, I could promise you he could play at this level as well.
Andrew, I was going to build off the question about the quarterbacks and just building that chemistry with these guys as they're also battling for jobs. Kind of what's that like, and then maybe some of the differences that you're seeing of those guys.
It's fun. Like it's fun watching them battle, watching them, have the discussion with us on like the timing of the routes, like out routes or comebacks or fades, like you know what I'm saying. So I feel like it's just overall fun. Like everybody got their different things. Malachi, he can throw it deep, he can run. They all do they all can run, they all can throw. It's not really the point I could just make for each one. Like I feel like they're all just great. Like so.
Hey Andrew, Coach Pittman told us that Tyrone Broden made a really big leap. What did you see from him in the winter?
Oh, everything. he coming for everything that he feel like he deserves. So I feel like Tyrone is really locked in. Like he's locked in. Like I said, that's my roommate. So we always talking about hey, this year. Like we got to do it this year. Like so I feel like it's gonna be one of those years that people talk about forever.
If there's an abbreviated version of it, what's the key principles of a Petrino offense? Like what have you made of the structure of it and how y'all are trying to implement it?
Just go. Like just do it. Just do everything, fast. Make sure you where you are. Make sure you got your plays down. Make sure you're in the playbook. He won't yell at you as much as you think he does. He won't yell. Like he'll just make sure you got the plays going, things like that. So I feel like Coach Petrino has came in and done an absolute astonishing job with us as helping us learn the plays and things like that.
Have you guys talked about any of the potential rules stuff like technology on the sidelines or earpieces and stuff?
I've heard. I saw something about it on Twitter, but no, I ain't heard nothing like in the locker room about it or anything.
Right. Nobody's talked about who should get the earpiece on defense.
Nah. We tested out today. They told us about it. So
I feel like it'll probably be linebackers. I'd say.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about Anton? What do you think about what he's done just individually through the winter workouts and just today?
He's a real hard worker, and I think that's what got him to this level that he's at now. He works real hard, always wants to compete with everybody, and real strong as well. He's real dominant in the run game. I saw in inside run period today, he made a really good play. So I think he'll really help us in the run, and his pass rush is good as well.
Do you think there's a possibility for any of the freshmen to help you guys this year?
I do. I really think, I don't know who will be out of Kavion and Charlie, but Charlie's real twitchy and a real good with side-to-side movement, and then Kavion's real smart. So it really, honestly, both of them could. So I really don't know. That's, I guess, Coach Adams' question, but, I think they could both definitely help us.
When you guys look on the other side of the ball at Taylon Green, like what are the challenges that he presents? And if you want to answer that too.
His speed. His speed. That dude can move. He has a great arm, but I feel like he really can dominate you with running the ball. There was times where I had him out leveraged whenever I was surfing, and I had him out leveraged, and he'll still pull it and still get outside. So when it comes down to it, if he really needs to, he's going to use his feet and get those yards.
The three new offensive linemen, the guys that transferred in, can you sense, like, going up against that group that maybe, some added juice just with those newcomers and building confidence there? Yeah,
I could tell with the offensive line this season, they're really trying to build a brotherhood. I really don't know how they were before, but I could tell this year they're really making an emphasis to be more together. And in my opinion, I do feel like that's some of those transfers coming in, kind of setting that tone. And just from going against, I was going against Fernando today, and I was telling them all right over here, he's probably one of the best offensive linemen I've went up against in my college career. And I really think he's going to make me a better player, and I feel like I'll make him even better of a player. So.
Andrew, maybe could you follow up on that, because you're in the huddle with those guys. What are you maybe sensing from the offensive line as they kind of turn the page on last season?
It's more like he said. It's more like talk. They're more talkative in the huddle. Like they're get here. Like huddle up. Like they're making sure, putting emphasis on what Coach Petrino is putting emphasis on. So Coach Petrino won't have to say that. So it's more like not one leader, but like the whole O line is a leadership. Like so, I feel like that's the biggest thing they could have did this winter.
Hey, Andrew, I wanted to ask you about Jordan Anthony. I know, I guess he went through some workouts now, and he's running track, going to nationals this weekend. Just what have you seen from him, and what would you say about his speed? And if any other guys have any thoughts on that, I'd be curious.
Jordan Anthony, he was here earlier before he went track, but he's fast. I don't know what else to say about that. He's fast. That's why he's at track right now. So. When he come back, I feel like he'll help us a lot, with slot work, with speed and things like that.
Hey, Brad, y'all lost a lot of snaps and starts through the portal at linebacker. How do you feel about maybe rising up the depth that you guys might be able to have?
It was a lot of spots that opened when that happened, so it was a surprise. But as linebackers, it's time for us to step up. It took a change in the room. Young guys time to step up. Like Alex, Carson Dean, Caden Henley, both. It's time for us to guys step up.
And then I was going to ask you about Nico. What have you seen from him I think he got some pressure in fastballs really early.
Yeah, no, since Nico first got here, we've always known he was going to eventually shine, and he played quite a bit this past season as a true sophomore, which is really good. And this offseason, his goal is to really have a dominant season and do all he can to help the defense. And I think it's really good having another dominant player on the other side of me. It reminds me a lot of last year with Tree on the other side of me. So I really like playing with Nico, and I feel like he's going to constantly get better every day. And I'm ready for the season.
Andrew, I know you're on the other side of the ball, but you did make the jump from the FCS last year. Have you talked to Anton at all about the differences of what y'all came from and what you're going to see this coming year?
Nah, because I didn't really talk to him about jumping from the FCS to the SEC, because like I said last year, like it's football. So if he want to line up and go against SEC O-linemen, that's what he came here for. So I feel like a discussion with him about that, I feel like he just is it's more of a want to than me trying to discuss him and explain it to him how it is, So I feel like if he want to go out there and he want to dominate, he's going to go out there and dominate. So I feel like that's what that's what it's come to.
This is for all three of you, and Landon, you can start, but Sam's going to open up scrimmages and some
Yeah.
practices to fans, and you guys are going to have to perform in front of people. And so looking at that, what are your feelings about having fans come and see, kind of win them over this spring as you guys show off what you can do?
I personally love it. I feel like that gives us a more realistic feel, So instead of, it kind of gives us that urge for game day, because that's one thing I always disliked about spring ball is we're practicing, but we don't ever have nothing to look forward to at the end of the week. We don't get to play for our fans. So that's something I'm really happy about, because it's basically, we're going to have a game every Saturday and treat that as our game. And I feel like it's going to be, we basically get 3 spring games. So I'm excited for it, and I think it'll be real exciting for the fans to be able to see what they're looking forward to, be able to watch the new transfers and really see how Coach Petrino is running the new offense and everything. And I think it'll be good for, not just us, but the fans as well.
Andrew?
He stole everything I was going to say. I don't know what to respond, but yeah, man, it's just going to give us a better experience throughout spring. Like he said, having fans up there is going to be fun, screaming your name and things like that when you go make a great play and things like that. I feel like it's going to be fun. I love it.
Brad, you got to perform. That's kind of what Sam Pittman said is, we're going to have a little pressure. You got to perform for these guys.
Yeah, just to pick up. It was going to be fun. I do want the fans to come in and see what we're doing, so Razorback as a family, so that's it.